everyone, welcome back to my channel. No, stop. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Morgan and this is Steve, my second guest star. But even when we're looking at the ultrasound, I'm seeing his little face and I'm just like, I can picture him and he looks just like he did in his ultrasounds. But I feel like you couldn't even, you're like, is that a kid?
It just looked like blobs to me. I hate saying that about my son, but I could never really get a face out of those images. I mean, I know what they were looking at, but it just never looked like a face to me.
I literally was sitting in the room and I looked at the ultrasound and I was like, that's Steve. And then I looked at him and he had the exact same expression. I'm not even joking. The exact same expression on his face as his dad did. Legitimately. Like, it was crazy. I'm like, he looks just like you. And now that he's here, like, everyone says he looks just like you.
I still can't see it.
Yeah, he can, but he looks just like him. Everyone else sees it. What about me? Because I mean, you were seeing me go through my first pregnancy from the outside. So what was that like?
My sisters, I remember them being pregnant and everything, but I didn't have to live with them or be around them. The first, I don't want to make it sound like I didn't want to live with you. It's just I didn't have the opportunity to live with them. Let's say, put it that way. The first 3 months or so, I barely saw her. She was sleeping almost the whole time. So it was pretty weird because usually, she's a kind of a night owl. She doesn't really sleep too much, and it was weird seeing that change in her. And
that was dramatic.
Yeah, where sometimes I'd come home from work and she'd be sleeping already, and it was pretty crazy. But yeah, that part was different. And then seeing her be sick and not really handling that all too well, I felt bad. I felt like I kind of did this to her, and I felt a little bit at fault for that. So that part was a little hard.
This is the little one we've been talking about. Say hi, Grayson. Say hi.
Hi, buddy. She had a little bit more difficulty getting around and doing things. She'll probably be mad at me for sharing this with you guys, but she started to get the pregnancy waddle. And I remember pointing it out to her, and she's like, I don't waddle, but she definitely got the waddle.
He told me that I was waddling in second trimester, and I was just like, what are you even talking about? I'm like, I'm not waddling. And then other people started pointing out my waddling, and I was like, I'm freaking waddling. But he was a big boy.
But the final 2 months or so, actually, to me, felt like they went by pretty quick. I'm sure not so much for her because she was just ready to get him out into the world. But for me, that period went really fast.
Everything went slow until it was the day of. And then once it was the day of, it's like, oh, that was pretty quick. But up until that point, everything took forever.
Again, I'm a skeptic, so I didn't really believe that was actually a possibility that she might miscarry.
He wasn't sure I was pregnant, but he was positive I wasn't going to miscarry.
I guess I'm always an optimist as well. So, but the reality is there, and it's scary to think that might be the case. But again, I stay positive, and fortunately for us, everything was fine, and we're blessed with this little man here. The only thing I had experience from was what you see in the movies, and that's not really even close to what I experienced in real life. She handled it awesome. She was she was really strong, and that surprised the hell out of me. I know she's a strong woman, but you know, she took it really well, and I know that couldn't have been too comfortable getting him out of there, but you know, she was a rock star. She did awesome. You know, I'm picturing screaming and yelling at me and cussing at me for making her have to do this, and it wasn't anything like that. It was actually a really neat experience.
What was your reaction when you saw him for the first time?
Seeing him for the first time was a lot of emotions come through me. I'm not really one who wears my emotions on my sleeve, but you know, I lost it a little bit. I shed some tears, and it was a really neat moment, just seeing him and finally getting to meet him, and you know, him just being awake the whole time too, and after he was born was pretty cool, because you know, he's looking around and checking everybody out, and it was just really neat to finally get to see the little guy.
It was a little funny too, because Steve was in a room full of women. We had a female physician, and then female nurses, and then again his mom, my mom, and my sister. So everyone was crowding around me and the baby, and then they took the baby to go do all the checks, and Steve still hadn't gotten to even like see him. So it's just like,
I had to fight through all the cameras to try to get at him.
For real, so you could actually see him. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah.